Alright guys, we are back for another Dokkan battle video. So we have the Tanabata Part 2 Carnival LR here. It is of course Jiren, very obvious. Tanabata typically is very obvious. They don't really try and go too far out of left field. Maybe last year slightly with Baby Saga Super Saiyan 4 Goku and then Omega. But to be fair, it is still Super Saiyan 4 Goku's fighting Omega, so it's not like that crazy. So we do have Jiren here. This continues the theme throughout the year of super bosses. Super bosses getting more help would be good. Jiren, of course, is not a big bad boss. His character, though. Cell Max, of course, currently, I mean, before seeing this guy's details, is the strongest super boss's character. So, I mean, I would prefer a team built of big bad bosses there, but if Jiren is very dominant, that's good for super bosses. I'm not going to be upset about this. Let's look at his stats. So Jiren, remember, it's typically about 5,000 to each added to it. So he's going to be, in 20,000 attack range, like 23,000 HP, 14,000 defense, solid. I mean, I would prefer more HP, if anything. More HP is always better, but, I mean, that certainly does look pretty decent there. Okay, let's go and jump in. We got some translations from Luca Dokkan. I heard that there are some very minor issues. Gresh is here to, kind of correct if anything is too off. But we got this looking good. All right, so let's jump in. So Jiren, Carnival LR Jiren. So it's a little bit of a new type of leader skill. Not really, yeah. So it is just 200% to 2 categories, but Universe 11 is pretty much not even like a real category. I mean, Universe 11, funny enough, I don't even think would be the worst category in the game at this point. No way. With how good Topo and Dispo are, and then now Jiren, I would say there's a really good chance next week, maybe we could get Super EZA for, say, Goku and Frieza, and Full Power Jiren EZA, like, as kind of like the last week of content for the celebration. I think could make a ton of sense. I would rather a Super EZA not be another, like, Universal Survival Saga type character. I would think if they should do it Super EZA, it should be Blue Kaioken, because superheroes and this stuff doesn't really need the buffs, but, again, we'll see. So, essentially, he's 200% the Universal Survival Saga. I mean, that's good. I'll take it. 12 key Super, he gets 30% attack and defense, colossal damage. 18 key, 50% attack and defense, main colossal, and high chance to stun. Okay. Certainly could be good. So he gets 8 key, 350% attack and defense at the start of turn. For his first turn, nullifies one of the targeted enemy's actions once. Oh, okay. So, I mean, that... Wow. I mean, I just think of the 2 hardest fights in the game currently. I could just go ahead and throw up. I did make... I'm glad I finally made a difficult fight tier list that I can just pull up. Both of these 2 at the top here, both of these, you have basically 2.4 million damage super attacks coming in at your dome instantly. Now, Cell Max has a weird script where he doesn't pressure slot 1 very much at the start of the fight. So I would say the chances are very good that with this attack break right here, Jiren could attack break one of Cell Max's super. And then also the other fight right here, Blue Kaioken Goku and Evolution Blue Vegeta, they double super turn 1 very often. So you could, in the hardest fights in the game right now, nullify one of their supers. That's pretty good. Keep in mind that there are potentially... So if these are new stages announced to the Supreme Magnificent Battle, I'm going to do a video going over a lot of the easy stuff like that. My mouse isn't working. Bro, buy a $5,000 PC so it doesn't work, chat. That's the move, man. That's so good, so good. So we have maybe as many as 3 new fights here. This is Gohan and Frieza. We have 17, and then we have UI Goku. These are all new. So, I mean, I don't know what the structure of the stages is going to look like, but again, that could be as many as 3 new stages there. I'm certain that Goku and Frieza and potentially Jiren would maybe be 2 stages that we'd get towards the end of Tanabata as well. But, I mean, I'm sure that these are going to be the toughest fights in the game, without question. All right. 50% damage reduction. That's pretty good. With 350% stats? Okay. 50% attack units when attacking. 100% attack. 70% chance to crit. 11% damage reduction. Second or third attack, or Yeah, okay. So he synergizes incredibly well with this, too. Against these guys. He does seem to me to be very effective in there. Now, I mean, you need a real beast to go in slot 1, but let's say we're using Universal Survival Saga Jiren's team. That means we have AGL UI Goku and Evolution Blue Vegeta, who turn 1 can go slot 1. UI Goku 100% dodge, and then Vegeta with his guard plus damage reduction. 70% chance to crit. So he doesn't have an additional built in, huh? He seems good. Seems good. So we don't have links wait, do we not have links anywhere? Let's see.
I think they're in the reply. I saw some stuff.
Oh, the reply. Okay, let's see. Okay, so Supreme Warrior, Shocking Speed, Infighter, Godly Power, Turn-Up Power, Fierce Battle, Legendary Power. This is fine, because he's going to have Shocking Speed, which a lot of the Tournament of Power, like, big LR characters have got. A lot of them have Godly Power as well, Fierce Battle, Legendary Power, Turn-Up Power. So he is going to work well with a lot of them. Then in terms of the categories here... I mean, I could just look at the damn categories. Let's look at this. Okay, so he's got Universe 11, Universal Survival Saga... damn, this is what you have to deal with? This is...
welcome to my world. You can, on the top of the URL, if you change the word medium to large, it'll be easier to see.
Medium to large. Okay, chat, hang on. I get this in video. Bro, so you change medium at the end of this to large, and it's black magic, and it just fixes it. What the hell? Okay. All right, so his categories are Universe 11, Universal Survival Saga, Realm of Gods, Full Power... what is that? Transformation Boost, Space Traveling Warriors, Powerful Comeback, Defender of Justice, Battle of Fate, Turn-Up Participants, and then Super Bosses. So, so he's on First Form Frieza's team. Now, people asked, is he a buff for Frieza? I would say no. I mean, I guess I would probably run him on the team, but that's not what Frieza wants. Powerful Comeback, Battle of Fate. We are looking, chat, for a new Battle of Fate leader. Battle of Fate will always be good, no matter what. That's one of those teams that will always be good. Tournament participants, so we can run them on Topo's team as well, of course. Yeah, okay, categories look good. And then, so this is Supreme Warrior. That's Shocking Speed. This is Infighter. This is Godly Power, Turn-Up Power, Fierce Battle, Legendary Power. Yeah, okay. All right, so let's jump over to his standby. From turn 3 since... Oh, Christ. Okay. They're joking.
That's the one thing.
They're joking. If it was just turn 3, then if he's in slot 7, it's just immediate, right? Okay. Okay, so chat, the way to think of this is it's his second turn is what this is, essentially. No matter where he starts, it's his second turn. You can go into standby. So he stands by for 5 turns. Charge count is 1 key sphere obtained by allies. 1 per key sphere obtained by allies. Okay. Unable to attack, 350% defense, 3 key to allies, 50% damage reduction with additional... Oh, okay. Well, that's pretty good. That's only his second turn. That's... It's not that bad. I mean, if you get him in slot 7, that sucks, of course. But, It's really what it is everyone complained, I hate, remember how everyone hated the Fusion Zamasu fight? It was because it's opening rotation RNG simulator, which people hate. Well, I mean, they're now pushing that even harder than ever with these turn conditions that Broly, Gogeta, UI Goku, this guy, all of them have, except for Beast, because he's just God immediately, and the Gammas do not have this bullshit either. But, like, all these LRs this year all have this shit. Like, they want opening rotations to be a huge factor in conjunction with attempt limits. It's, like... It's so obvious what they're doing, right? It's very obvious. Okay. So he looks good. I mean, this is just a couple of orbs, and he's not taking damage at all. Then another 100% defense when receiving an attack. So he randomly changes non-AGL key spheres into... Wait.
AGL.
Into AGL. Okay, yeah. So, and then he's going to get the charges per key sphere for allies. Okay, so... Like a rainbow orb changer would be massive for this guy. Luckily, one of the best rainbow orb changers in the game will be here in Blue Cow King Goku and Evolution Blue Vegeta. And Topo. Topo as well. That makes
It
sense.
doesn't. It does not specify how many orbs you need for the standby.
Oh, okay.
So we don't know that yet. I mean, it says 5. It says he standbys for 5 turns, but I assume you don't need to wait the entire. As soon as you fill the gauge up, you can just use the finish, I think.
Okay. Super Saiyan 4 Goku is 30, right? So that might be what this is.
Yeah, but it doesn't say. It just says in the actual tweet. It says unleash the finish skill when conditions are met to go into full power Jiren. That's all it says.
Okay. And so then right here, this is just supposed to be attack. 70% attack to all allies, all other allies. Well, yeah, I guess Jiren can't attack, so that makes sense. For 2 turns, when this character obtains key spheres, as the second or third attacker? Well, that's no good. Huh. That's gonna be pointless. I mean, I mean, if you get really lucky and maybe slot 1's not getting attacked, but this guy's gonna be going in slot 1. I mean, when you're running Oob with LR Super, like that's always gonna be slot 1. So
You could just put Topo in slot 1, like transform him and put him in slot 1.
Yeah, but you really. Wait, I realized that I muted myself while I was talking, but the problem with that is that you really want to like be as stingy with using Topo's transformation as possible. Like save it as long as you can, and then if you're using double Topo, like people are not going to be running. Like they run the friend Topos are full crits and stuff. So it's like as Topo gets hit a lot in God mode, he really is going to start taking a lot of damage. I feel like most of the time using this here, you're going to want Jiren just in slot 1. This does look good overall, though. Okay, so now we get to full power Jiren. Okay. All right, so let's take a look at full power Jiren now. So Jiren's 12 key super attack here. He gets 50% attack, 30% defense for 1 turn, colossal damage to the enemy. Then the 18 key is 100% attack for 1 turn and 30% defense for 1 turn. Okay. Mega colossal damage, guaranteed stun. I mean that would be good against Cell Max. Very good against Cell Max, yeah. Which matters. That's definitely one of the hardest fights in the game. Although the only thing is Cell Max. You can't stun Cell Max unless, besides like Revive or Giant shenanigans to mess up the boss RNG, you're not able to stun Cell Max until turn 7 anyway. But that could matter. So full power Jiren here. We have 11 key, 400% attack and defense, 60% damage reduction. Looks good. So his first turn, Scouter, an additional 11% damage reduction. Huh. 111% attack and defense when attacking. Okay. 70% chance to crit with additional 11% chance to crit per super attack launched. Whew, okay. Then another 100% attack. Attacks are guaranteed to hit and guaranteed crits when
Full crit build. Let's go.
So, when we're getting that crit at 24 key, I've found to just be heaven. Like AGLUI in Evolution Blue Vegeta, Blue Cow Ken, and Evolution Blue Vegeta, like those characters having that guaranteed crits at 24, it is so good. Then additional 50% attack when he receives a super attack from the enemy.
Okay,
correct.
So one thing about this is this is repeatable, so it stacks.
So every
Forever.
time he gets hit by a super?
Yeah.
So I believe, okay, Cell Max as far as I've heard, is not like that. Where, here, I could pull up Cell Max.
Well, he just gets the additional super when he gets a super attack when someone super attacks him, right?
So here's what the ability. I've got a
Yeah, but Cell Max's specifically says for the turn. Jiren's doesn't.
Okay. Is the wording the same with receiving or whatever?
Yeah.
So that means Cell Max, or excuse me, that means
No, it's actually different because Jiren specifies every time. Cells is just when.
Okay. Well, because my point was going to be with Cell Max, if a super attack is aimed at him and you dodge it, he still gets the additional super.
Can you pull up Beast Gohan? It's probably the same wording as Beast Gohan when he gets hit.
Yeah, let's pull him up.
All right, where's that part? There's so much stuff in here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's to make a character who gaps the entire game for 10 years. That's what it needs to look like. Yeah.
Yeah, so even Beasts. I mean, Beasts is the same wording as Jiren's, but Beasts says for the turn too, because obviously Beasts' attack buffs don't carry over.
Yeah.
So it's the same wording as Beasts, except it doesn't specify for the turn for Jiren. So I think it's literally just he gets 50% permanent attack whenever he gets hit with a super, which I don't think is going to be that crazy because you're not really going to get the transformation until later anyway.
Yeah.
And how many times is he really going to get supered? So it's still cool to note, though.
These fights end so fast. So, especially if you're running full 200% Universal Survival Saga, you are killing these bosses in seconds. Because all these guys are guaranteed critting. So the bosses are dying instantly. And it's like, people will say, oh, well, we're not all with Rainbow Whale accounts like you. Which is fair, except for that I'm talking about EZA characters. We're talking about 2021 characters who are blitzing the bosses in seconds. So you're running Tech UI, Jiren, Int Vegeta, AGL UI, Blue Kaioken, Evolution Blue Vegeta. You're killing these bosses within no time. And remember that Tech UI's domain is going to buff Jiren as well. Jiren is superclass. So he's just getting buffed. And Jiren is Realm of Gods as well. So he's just going to get double buffed by UI Goku's domain. So he gives you the Scouter. I'm going to want to see like what his start of turn defense looks like. Because it's like, I know it's like, oh, super crazy to be at 70% damage reduction. But, I mean, when these bosses are tagging you for 3 million plus, I'm confident that Jiren has taken nothing after he supers, even from the biggest boss supers. But I'm thinking about him in slot 1. I mean, to be fair, by then we could very easily have Tech UI Goku slot 1, this guy slot 2. Goodbye! No boss is living, by the way. That's not happening. Okay, so if I would take a look at this, I don't know. I'm not sure with Jiren. Jiren looks really good, but it yeah, he's just gonna be invincible turn 1. He's just invincible right away, basically. They gotta hit.
When was the last time we had a major release like this that doesn't have any built-in additional?
Well, I mean, your Rose's built on it. Cell Max is built on it. I mean, UI does have a bunch, but I mean, Goku
like Topo?
does.
I don't know.
God Topo doesn't. Yeah, it's Topo. Topo does, I believe, in slot 2 though, as in base. I think I'd have to double check that. Topo. Does Topo have an additional in slot 2 in base?
This guy's just going to be launching like a 50 million attack stat guaranteed crit, and that's it.
It's Topo. Topo also doesn't have built-in additionals, yeah. Yeah, in slot 2, he just gets this. It's on super attack buffs. So both Universe 11 characters are the answer to what you're saying. I think Jiren, at a glance, I don't know. Do I think Cell Max will be way above him? Dude, Jiren is somewhere in this range. I need to see what these, like, start of turn defensive stats and shit like that is going to look like for Jiren before I can really be sure. Because the thing is that Beast, Cell Max, Vegeta, and UI basically don't die. Basically. I mean, UI can get caught. Cell Max does need to build up a little bit while he gets hit. Vegeta can't go slot 1 after he's either doesn't have guard, basically. Beast, I guess, technically can be caught when it's, past his intro, no active. But it's Jiren is going to be... dude, like, all these characters, not Gogeta, Bootanks, and Broly, not them. But all these other ones, it's so hard for them to take damage. Like, 17 and Golden Frieza, like, can't die in slot 2 and 3, essentially. This looks good. I mean... How much does he help super bosses? He does, but super bosses specifically need slot 1. Specifically. Because, like, Physical Rose, I've been fairly impressed with his defensive performance in slot 2 or 3. Right? Like, Super Easy A Physical Goku Black, not against super attacks, but, like, he's passable in slot 2 and 3. Like, a lot of those characters are. Broly is passable in slot 2 or 3. This guy wants to be run in slot 2. If we're just talking about specifically for super bosses. This Jiren looks good, though. Even though he does have the annoying shit right here, it's still only his second turn, right? I guess you probably will get full power Jiren and mastered UI Goku around the same time, since this guy basically has to double transform. But, I mean, even getting into that standby, he's immune to damage. Certainly right here, he's going slot 1. You're not going to be able to get that support, the attack support, but who gives a shit? An untouchable slot 1 character is so good. And then, in full power... it depends. I mean, if the boss supers in slot 1, but, like, after Jiren attacks, they're doing nothing to him. But just 60% damage, 71% damage reduction, it sounds good, like, I know, in people's heads and stuff like that, but his defense is going to have to be super high as well. And he does have 400%. 400% is a really big deal, by the way, because Beast has 250. And Jiren is at 400. So. Yeah, he looks very good. I mean, besides, like, little minor things, like this is probably about as good as we could get. His power turn 1 is what we're looking for. This is really good turn 1. Again, condition, well, if you get slot 7, you're cucked. But... condition is not that bad since it's just a second turn. And then obviously full power Jiren is going to be massive. So yeah, he looks good. I'm not super sure, like, oh, he's top 2 or he's top 5 or something like that. I just want to see what these defensive stats are looking like for him when we're actually in game. But this is looking to me to be a very dominant release. Universal Survival Saga is gonna be nuts. This is just quite simply looking very, very good.